What happened in Detroit could happen anywhere. Over time, as the car industry moved out from those areas, they became less able to have jobs. We had high rates of crime, depopulation, and gradually we had a city that became bankrupt, basically. Many of us saw Detroit as an example of either urban blight or urban decay. But the reality is that inside Detroit, there are still pockets of neighborhoods that have survived. Now, Detroit is almost an urban experiment. This broader tragedy of Detroit's decline gives citizens a chance to try out programs that are innovative, that are built along these ideas of trust, of reciprocity, of communal sense. In those areas, we really see the future. And out of these ruins of the car industry, we see some kind of new approach that's localized, an approach that's based on local input, based on local survival. Those areas that are still doing well, those are communities where people feel that this is their home. And that's part of the challenge that we have. How do we spread out those civic ties? How do we spread out the sense of belonging to other communities that might be lagging right now? Having connections, having trust, having belief that our police officers, our government is on our side. That's the first stage in building a connection that over the time will build up a stronger sense of community. Communities that have these industries that may go bust in the future, what will happen to them? Will they simply lose population, become ghost towns, blighted and destroyed? Or will there be this kind of interesting innovation?
We change the way we fundamentally plan for meeting our water needs. In Texas, we have a saying that we learn from each drought. When we talk to folks that are wanting to understand water in Texas, we tell them, read our water law. Our water law is a retelling of our history of droughts. Before 1997, water planning in Texas, even though droughts had occurred, was very much a top-down approach. You had state bureaucrats planning and developing what we call the state water plan. So in 1997, the legislature tells local areas of the state that it is up to the locals to understand what their future water demands are going to be, what their growth patterns are going to be, and more importantly, understanding the available water management strategies. Paso has learned how to adapt to those water shortages and done a very good job on diversifying their water supplies. It can't be just about let's capture every drop and use it. You have to worry about maintaining the health of your streams. They're resources we must protect, but they're also important for the economy of Texas as well. El Paso itself relies on the Rio Grande for about 50% of its water use. They have the largest inland desalination plant in the country. They're also looking at direct reuse of water. Toilet to tap. We also recognize that conservation can provide about a third of our future water needs. Every single drop counts. As proud as we are of El Paso, of being able to reduce our per capita consumption, you can only find that to be sustainable if you have changed the mindset. It is something that's ingrained in the community every single day.
Un poco para contar la historia de Medellín, más o menos alrededor de 1980 era una ciudad con una crisis económica bastante pronunciada. Fue una era difícil, una era oscura para la ciudad de Medellín. Vivimos una era de violencia. Muchas de nuestras comunas carecían de colegios, bibliotecas, centros culturales. El mayor problema que tenía la ciudad de Medellín era la inequidad. Nuestra ciudad era continúa siendo una ciudad dividida profundamente, no solo económica y socialmente, sino también desde nuestras formas de pensar. Y entendimos que tal vez lo primero que necesitábamos era integrar la ciudad y de una manera estratégica. comprendimos que tal vez un sistema de transporte que le permitiera a las personas desplazarse con mayor facilidad, de una manera más económica y más efectiva, podría brindar esa oportunidad de reducir no solo las distancias reales y materiales que habría entre nuestros barrios y nuestra gente, sino también las distancias que hay entre la idea que tenemos del otro. Tal vez fue muy controvertida. Decían que Medellín era una ciudad demasiado pequeña para tener un sistema de metro en 1990. Pero creo que nuestros líderes entendieron que la solución no era para 1990, sino que era una solución a futuro. La gente que vivía a los alrededores entendió que ya eran ciudadanos y que hacían parte de una ciudad que de alguna manera los integraba, les ofrecía una serie de oportunidades. Y es increíble cómo esa transformación va cambiando la mentalidad de las personas. 20 parques, biblioteca en la ciudad le permitió a muchos jóvenes que no tenían acceso a educación de calidad específicamente lo tuvieran y comenzaran esa transformación.
In my mind, resilience comes from the connections that we have, not only to our own family, but also to individuals living nearby, to the community, to the schools, to the businesses. It's a sense of belonging to a community and wanting to be part of it. So to cultivate that, we really need to stress to people, this is not some mushy-gushy feeling, some abstract. Right? These connections that we have, they can be measured and they can be shown to have an impact.
A city is the reflection of your ideas, of the way you think. At some point, for undertaking an urban transformation, we had to change our culture. We had to challenge our ideas. And then we start asking, is that an option? Do we have to change? And that's the spark.